Hello, viewers, and welcome to a new episode of your program, when as Salone Morning Discoveries with me, Konnah Sesay. Many a time, people can talk about Salone movie production, how Salone movie production they grow, and also people can normally compare Sierra Leone movie production to other countries them out there. Well, today, for help me talk better about Salone movie production, things that we need for be included inside the production for see that we push Salone movie industry go before. Are they with me at the program? Dr. Aissatou Kake Jallo, we happen for be the director for Sierra Network and he double as the executive producer for Sierra Network Discoveries and also in na executive producer for KID-AFAN Films. Hello and welcome to the program.
Thank you and welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right. Inside the program, I also deal with director Ansumana Bangura. We come out from Transit Mission as INSEF. They join me today for talk about Sierra Leone movie productions. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Konnah.
All right. For viewers, we are the very first time this for hearing the name Ansumana Bangura. We go look for now. Ansumana Bangura, why do you come inside movie production?
Thank you very much. I think why I come inside movie production is the first, when we go to school, I remember those days we had theater, would be the act concerts, they call it, at school.
Okay.
That's how my journey begins, Acts now so many stage them and from there theater start for kind of like fade up, not Sierra Leone. And people that this where this one but also come it changed a lot of mindsets from people where be there into theater act stage to stage when I think that one big mistake that they way happen in Sierra Leone where we they forget about things and we need to bring people in. If you look at the acting in Sierra Leone, you see say you get a lot of problem because people don't only if you have people where they watch West Sierra Leone and do something now you later and say the same on a camera help because people don't believe in the actors and performance or the actresses. They're not able to date in front of people and perform well. Or then they become lazy now because everybody they feel say, okay, this I make mistake, camera they will cut and put for me. But theater was really good. One day they grab everything, go on stage, perform a whole of a story. So that's where my journey begins. And from there, then from Otaba theater, and then I came to practice film
Okay.
production. So from proactive film production, then produce, many movies and then come to transit. So this is how sure.
Wow. So from childhood days, you come into movie production, and up till now, you still there into them. Somebody go wonder. I mean, through your experience in production, those days and now, as you say, theater was the thing, and that's what missing. How you go compare then theater and now?
Theater was great because one thing we get passion for what we do and we like how we want to excel competition is there. Now movie don't Sierra Leone don't they improve, I think I have to say that. From where we were in terms of producing film, the quality now we don't get quality cameras. We get people the way they come and invest small, not too much, but they go. But I tell you one thing, for the movie change in Sierra Leone, not everybody get to play a part to this. It's not just about, maybe we get the camera people them or the directors then good, the writers then good. If you get a powerful writer, if you get bad actors, then they follow the script. You can get a bad script, a script is not bad, but script that is not well equipped, not so good. If you get very good actors there, they can change that script and transform it. So in other words, movie don't improve necessarily, but you got a long way for go. A long way for go. I think everybody needs to come to play. Everybody needs for scenes. Say we want to change the film industry. I think let people are there for say and say it's just for fun. It's more for fun that they see people in the make film. Not on that kind of entrepreneur side, that kind of way in a business thing for change, and also promote things in Sierra Leone.
Okay.
I can say many countries in the world we never travel to, never know them. Now film make we know them. And today film don't play a lot of parts like America, India, even Nigeria. Ghana, we self start, movie don't play. Me and you two know go, many of them country there, but can tell a lot about the beauty of these countries. So that's the impact we film getting at the country. We will make, I think, all of us have to come together and make sure that we're able to change the industry. But we don't make too much hits, but we try small small. I think you will get a long way from home. If you travel small, you see how movie they make different in other countries, and you see how they respect what they do. I think we did far.
All right. So, in these years where you don't day into movie production, how many movies you don't produce, and as you start, you realize, say, the next one you produce, you get the changes. Increase on the quality and the production and all. So, take me through that process. Eh?
That's a very hectic one, a very difficult one. And with the other see, everybody to produce film that's right. You just maybe every month, every 2 3 days, and this is not a child's play thing. This is something people that put a lot of money. For me, I know they in the kind of things I go do movie every day. Even when you don't make profits, you release a movie, your movie not go out, or people not even go watch a film, and the next thing you just get up again, go do another film, and you get up again, go do another film. Filmmakers are not even get time for sit down and reflect and see what do we do next. Okay, so my first film where I do the challenges them where I go through was not easy. I mean, where I start to make film for myself. It was so much all angle from cast. You just see so much that people get a lot for learn, for be professional, for make that at least to certain level. I now talk about like, these technical guys. Some of them don't even know why they're into film. I mean, no disrespect. Because they're not conscious of time. The first film, they lost me footage them all. The footages them. The first thing after I don't spend a lot of money for putting into the cameraman will be they do whatever. They lost all the footage them. I therefore try as well for getting things and you know what it means for just shoot a single scene. But those people just don't care. It's not really easy to produce one film, as I would say.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people you talk to, I know a lot of directors tell me say they don't produce 15 films, 16 films, 10 films, And I just ask, what are all this film and what are you, your position? How is this film transform anything that your life is not even showing for a single one film? And how comes you keep the dual film, you keep the dual film, you keep the dual film, to make nothing? And now make now casting everywhere. Because the fact is when you do one film you're able for even get you overhead, then the next thing you're able to get cast and nothing. And you self not able forget nothing. The next thing you get an ambassador go shoot. So these keep the go on and on as you make the thing don't feel like sorry, but it feel like everybody just they use this as a leisure. When you don't get things for doing, say more like the phone, the company, let's just go around, we go come. I love the see say this the change dynamics of what the industry need for really be like. Serious minded people that need for coming to the industry.
All right.
And see say we really, really kind of transform.
All right.
So I don't produce two films and I about for produce the other one. I don't take me time for produce because I want to produce one. I before realize something and move to the next one.
All right. We will talk more about your next plans and the
Yeah.
next movie you get to produce. Dr. Kake Ujalo, you doubling as the director for Network and you also double as the executive producer, and all you tight schedule and all. One can wonder, waiting movie you for say will make her come into movie production.
Thank you for that question. And I also want to say plenty thank you to a guest, Mina, a co-guest here, because being the executive producer as well as being the, producer for the Discovery Channel and also movies them we, Sarah Network, KID-AFAN films they produce. And we just shoot a movie right now, We're in Endless Love. I play multiple roles in that particular project. But I really want to agree with Mr. Ansumana here on so many things that we can to say everybody for take the industry seriously and for see how we will try for empower people them way into the entertainment sector. And for me, my background really not to entertainment, I'm not gonna school for film academy or for anything we get for do with cinematography. Now a passion now I get for film. Now the love what I get for filmmaking and storytelling and for make people them to be able for relate to them things they are so because sometimes when you dey watch certain movie, it dey help you for overcome so many things them. So watching movies, internationally, watching it from here to I travel overseas, I don't learn so much. And for me, as I care so much about my country, Sierra Leone, what I dey see in other countries, them, I feel say, how can we as Sierra Leoneans them try for, come in and do the same thing with who they see they happen in other West African nations, also, other countries, them, not just, Africa as a whole. So me not a medical practitioner. I get a doctorate in nursing. So some man will say, "Eh, why you not build hospital? Why not focus just on that?" Well, now I can always say my statements are too critical for the healthcare side. The type of healthcare I want seen in this country, God knows, it's beyond imagination because I know say we not go afford them. But I take and say again, film they create jobs, film they empower people, then film they will tell we story. We as Sierra Leoneans, how we would tell we story. And I can still do what I dey do as a practitioner, but at the same time I will invest in the entertainment, help other people then with jobs. Because I look at the entertainment, say, not to just the actors, the director or the editors and the actresses get job. You get so many people then behind the scenes where they get job. Like we with the endless love we've just done conclude for shoot. I decide forget crew members them for certain things them wey my team never had, meaning makeup for beyond set, barber for beyond set. Because if I'm trying to project something and the type of movie wey me want project, what I want for really produce, it will really be an international standard. So with that, I want to make sure see all them people that are there on set, for make sure see the production go well. Yes, I agree. Say there's no money in the filmmaking in Sierra Leone right now, but I don't produce two movies. Then this girl will be the third one. We the first one, Sarah season two, we don't premiere. I kind of co-producer with Triple A when Amy start the story with season one, and then I go on co-producing Bigger, with other TV series within our YouTube channel currently. Um, with that, the first movie where I watch, we make I say, you know what? And it was just like a regular discussion with Triple A's. Like I said, I just wish Sierra Leone we get movie, we get good picture quality, good story, and performance. And I say, watch Sarah Tom. And I say no. So he sent me link. I spent like 2 days watching 8 episodes. Now I say, wow, this is great. I've been like the picture and everything, the sound, everything I've been like. Now I say, what's going on with season two? Like it was finance, then that's why I come in and become the co-producer and executive producer.
All right. Briefly, as you say, you want to see that movie production really compete with international movie productions out there. So, like back then, before you joined the movie production, what are some of the things where you really see, where you kind of say, no, this not right. This need to happen for make this be straightened.
I think mainly I would say now the picture quality and the character in how the actors or actresses then they play. I've been seeing more of like a concert than being a full length movie. And so maybe they see 'em. So for that reason I take and say, oh no, I dey watch big movies that I dey watch now like a big screen. So I dey expect say we actors, them actresses, them they really need for do well in so many areas. So like that's where me come in, and then even with this endless love, I co-direct this movie. Just because there are things we can to the artistic side of the performance. You can see where they cut shots and say pause. You need for the lines not for go just say, oh, I don't get the idea, so I can just talk waiting on my want. No, the script they for like you follow that script they, and then in also some words require an action from somebody. The performance with the word for come together. So that maybe they look for, in a way, I will co-direct this, So, but I hope Sierra Leoneans then will embrace we own content. I think nine are the key in all this what they do. There's a lot of things I believe say, other stakeholders and they will really help the movie industry for go forward.
All right. Well, that's not Dr. Aisatu Kake Jalon and director Ansumana Bangura. Both they serve in capacities of movie producer and director. And I don't listen as they don't share with me their experiences in the movie production. And also they don't talk about some things that they don't observe so far. But they go for a short break and when we come back we will talk about how we go move Salone movie production go before.
Sierra Network is the network that bridges the gap between the diasporas and those within Sierra Leone by providing authentic and factual news on a daily basis.
We at Sierra Network Salone take pride in quality and productivity is our utmost priority in service delivery to the communities we serve.
We expect professionalism at all times.
Our service to the people of Sierra Leone is paramount in what we do.
We constantly strive for innovation and the best that meets the demands of the people in Sierra Leone.
Our passion and creativity oversees the work we produce. We work as a team to provide you the best in news, media, comedy, entertainment, and all your event coverages.
Sierra Network is here to offer you the best.
We engage the people to learn about Sierra Leone's culture and history.
This is Triple A from Sierra Network.
This is Dr. Aisatu Kake Jallo from Sierra Network Health Talk and Discoveries.
This is Ishmael Dadis Bangura from Sierra Network Comedy and Production.
This is Abib Kaloko from Sierra Network Media.
This is Sila Kemtakabu from Sierra Network Media.
This is Aisatu Sesay from Sierra Network Talk to the Camera.
This is Konnah Sesay from Sierra Network Talk to the Camera.
This is Samuel Bright from Sierra Network Media.
This is Mohamed Eskagbo from Sierra Network Production and Comedy.
This is Justice A.M. Tijan from Sierra Network Media.
This is Salema Sukaki from Sierra Network Tell Me Salone.
Sierra Network Salone, where Sierra Leone is never too far, at 56 Campbell Street, 2nd floor, Freetown, Sierra Leone. You can call us at +232 77 42 5637 or +1 646 610 3107 or visit us on the web at snradio.net or sncfny.org.
Welcome back, viewers, and don't forget to the program where you listen and watch na Salone Morning Discoveries with me, Konnah Sesay. And remember, inside the program today, I get with two personnels we actually they into movie production and direction. We are Dr. Aisatu Kake Jallo and director Ansumana Bangura. Welcome back, director.
Thank you.
All right. As you will say earlier, Sierra Leone movie production don't go forward. Yeah. And we don't try. But then in a scale of 1 to 10, how you go compare Sierra Leone movie production to other movie productions? I mean, when it gets for do with surrounding West African continents.
It's a tough word. I think 1 to 10, I would say some other people will agree with me, but I think we will come close to 3.5.
3.5.
Oh, okay.
It can be a turning point at some point. The reason why I believe we know there's zero again. A lot of people don't come in. So I give 3.5. I know a lot of people will not agree because I feel within our peak right now we're able to transform if we really, really ready to do so. We're not there again now upon where we don't know the direction. Everybody they see where they happen. I can always say, yes, Sierra Leone, they're far away from the wall, if you can imagine, with a back, towards how the world move, how things to move, development. But a lot of people, they're pushing. But if we need for get up to 5, wait for the average, we need a government for play a part.
Okay.
If we want for give employment to many people. If I tell you how many people they inside the film industry, more than 1,000 people, young people, they into movie out of passion, out of maybe an average level people who think they're not able to sit on an office, but they can get their talent to make able for use, and they into entertainment and they into movie. So I think if the government will look at this area and say, you know what, I think movie is a very big area for us to look into. Let's put in some money into it. And then let's bring also, it's not just the money, but how do we invest the money into it? We need education around film, as I tell you. Technical people and everybody, we need to get a film college, we need to get a film university in this country. We need people to go study and do better filming. Because it's not just limit. I can always say when you get talent is one thing, but that's talents need to be modified, need to improve. People that get talent, I tell you, a lot of things needed to back up this talent. Resources, just there, for make people able to produce. So I think we can able to get to 5 if all the sectors can come together, and Sierra Leone also will learn for appreciate what they do.
Okay.
The one thing people they put a lot of energy into what they do. It's not as bad as how people they make Sierra Leone film be like. I agree with you, there are problems. There are some picture problems. But we can start by appreciating the good ones and the average ones, and then people that watch, I don't like for Konnah, but people that watch all the films where there's things are not good, storyline not good, a lot of mistakes, lot of errors, but then learn try to understand the story. Even when some film there, I cannot sit down and watch such film. Because I just feel you make fool of people even want to watch, But yet still Sierra Leonean, they appreciate those films because they are not Sierra Leonean films.
Okay.
But when they watch Sierra Leone film, then they watch for pick up mistake, not to understand the story, not to understand anything. So people has to change the mindset. If people then change the mindset and say, let's support, and people do movie and begin to get a returns, people will put more investment into the thing. So I feel say we all able for make we get to 5. That it's not an easy task. I can't say we're 0. At least to a lot of effort. I mean, all of us don't put a lot of effort. Doctor don't come all the way as well for putting. Tell me say 2 or 3 movies we don't produce is nothing. It's a big effort as well. So I think we can get to 5 if we come together.
Okay.
So me, I just want to come in, ask you questions. Where you say we did 3. In terms of grading, so let's say we grade at a scale of 0 to 10, right? 10 being the most you can get. So Sierra Leone movies. Me not feel say I want to say we dey at 3, and to me I feel say we dey average in terms of what I say average midway, like we dey around 5 to 6 because of the movies that I don't watch lately in terms of what they do. The talent they, I think waiting lack now the resources. If we put the resource into the movies, then I think we'll be able for upscale, like you say, some stories and they will watch, always Sierra Leoneans and watch about other countries. Then, it's not even a story that you want for see they watch, but then they watch.
Yeah.
They rather watch the Indian movies, they watch the other country movies, and whether now the other, they prefer that because now that's they don't promote a lot. So now we get to promote the movies in our country. So in grading these scale, what thing we look at? What if you say we for look at?
One thing where I say, if you say you would rate Sierra Leone 5, to from 0 to 10, I think that's a huge one if you don't get to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in a country like Ghana, a lot of people, they're not only probably music, but in terms of only now, maybe this late time that we try for mixing. At some point of it in Ghana, they show one Sierra Leone film, maybe they play now this Ghana TV, where they show a highlight of it. And, and somebody will ask, whose country is Sierra Leone live now? Whose country will produce that? So we're far away from how people really know we're around. And how many Sierra Leone movies are narrating different awards? We just, even DSTV, if they play Sierra Leone movie probably once in a while in a long time, they can play only now that with the move. So at that level, whereas probably we get, so if you look at all the angle, whereas with the move, I think we're still below average. If we get average now, I think I could really feel that we.
Yeah, I think if we look at the movie, like recently I watched, I be the part of the National Film Awards. We really showcase good Sierra Leone movies. Them, there are movies then where they produce will not make too much sense. But again, when we look at other countries and especially West African nation to question who size Sierra Leone in at the map, I think that's not something where we West African committee we can to education get problem with. Meaning you get for teach you students them for know about them regions. For know say Sierra Leone is a part of West Africa. But if you don't know about Sierra Leone, to me it's like, oh, you really not do well we can to secondary school level. Because I think I take me Beke before I travel overseas. So some of the history questions then for reach to that. So we dey ask, WAEC, or the WAS, we then they draw question for make sure say, then they really teach students them, this they go to Nigeria, Ghana, all the West Coast in Africa. For no say we get for teach we students them about the neighboring countries them just like we in America. You talk about North America, the US, Canada, and then you get Mexico, we join them. They want to make sure say people they know about their history, they know also about the surrounding, they know about certain things. I think we education system really need for strengthening, but not to just Sierra Leone for strengthening that. But again, it's all about people wanting to do this and want them we will help right now before government they come in. I think the media always encourage government for sponsor things like this for try forget that film academy where you talk about. Then you talk about bachelors of art, for example, somebody they go school. Let's say this person, he don't go to university. Maybe been planned for study law, nursing, or go on a pre-med. But it feels say you want to get a bachelor's of art first. Within that, you go into film academy, right? And just focus, on entertainment. And with that, you can get all that background, So
All right. And when you look at the attitude of people towards movie business na salon, you think and say yes, Sierra Leonean things not get that much recognition, you know, in a wide range. Yes, but then based na Salonia, so the attitude we Sierra Leoneans then get towards we movies then higher, when you look at Sierra Leone film and start for George and all that thing then they what do you feel say need for be done towards that aspect there?
I think in my own aspect, and what I don't see now for bring awareness, to the people then say the content which we self they produce in this country is good enough for make you watch, let it relate to them. Let you say, what, would it tell stories about Africa? Would it tell story about Sierra Leone? Like Sarah Ton, they tell story about a village, where it be say people then did it. Then they talk about waiting be done they happen, waiting are some of the culture, tradition, when they deal with. But we Sierra Leoneans and begin watch them kind of movies and then we try for promote them. And I want to say this, the way I promote Sarah Ton season 2, I don't say other filmmaker not do that. I go on all different television, like from the ones that we prominent, AY, VSL, BC, and it also radio stations, and for talk about the film, for talk to Sierra Leoneans and say, this now we own content, this now we own film. Una watch and una can una support. Let's see how we will promote the country in your film. And also if we print something on DVDs, they encourage you. Yes, it might be a little expensive now. You might say, like a TV series, and they ask you for like pay 8,000 leons or 10,000 leons. Even we drop on to 6,500, we just will give you a printing cost and cost of production. Sierra Leone is another budge. So like, I printed 6,000 copies of Big Yard and Sarah Ton season 1. I still get half of it. And this has been a year.
Okay.
So we know they embrace we own content. I think that requires a lot of promotion for we the filmmakers them, for make sure say we sell what we do. Because if you not sell your product, for let people to understand, say, just like when somebody get a brand of a rice or a brand of cooking products, then get for brander. You get for make like people know say this not a good content, this not something where you go relate to, this not something where you go rely about, for make you do something. And now that me do with Sarah Thompson. And I make I always say Sarah Network Production KID-AFAN Films, to me, na Sierra Leone movie industry, I feel say we are the game changer because we come with a different thoughts, a different way in how we go promote the movie industry. And that, for me, if I'm passionate about something, people then say, where do you find the time to do all this? I say, okay, the day of them, when I get now they use, so because I want to make sure say if me name and me brand they on something, I take them to the next height. And I hope say that passion we me get, many Sierra Leoneans them will get the same passion. And with that, I believe say Sierra Leone movie within the next 5 years we will see at a different pace.
Within the next 5 years.
That's my passion.
Hope that the challenges where they no change you mind.
All right. when you talk about challenges where they ask before now, you don't tell me about the frustrations where they into movie productions. I mean, when you don't spend a lot of time, a lot of energy, resources into movie production, you get to think about the attitude of people towards the movie and all. And what you put in, they come out back. Yeah, I mean, so how the moments in the Kintalik?
I think this takes extra effort and dedication. It's more than just maybe the word passion, because you might have the passion to do something, you love to do it, but a lot of discourage and disappointment, frustration around everything. Sometimes you can't bear it, And the way you just answer, you just seem to say, look, the amount of time I'm investing, the resources I'm putting, and then calculate the whole year. You ask yourself, what have I achieved with all of this time? And if this thing keep further happen, frustration that come in. And I don't deal with a lot of people who don't tap, where they explain the passion where they get. And feel so also as you, they're the game changer. But in the end, just as transit, the other day I talked about transit, where transit would think about all the direction in there as well. For a startup or courses, regarding filmmaking, we're already with them that strongly. We will start down at Freetown very soon because we have colleges in all over.
So transit, they work hand in glove with the Ministry of Tourism and
exactly. We deal with all the angles in there right now. So very soon we will start like courses in it. So everybody, but we just need a kind of a team because this is not one-man show. And the problem now, Sierra Leone, there are a lot of teams who feel say that they control everything. And a lot of teams they waiting on the Konnah office and they're responsible for Sierra Leone film. And therefore decide what happened, what goes this way. So people they come inside with everything for ad. Sometimes they shield these people aside. Because there's a system, there's a pragmatic system where it affects this country so much in every sector, and movie is not an exception. Where we need for change this system necessarily for make we move forward. Otherwise, we're going to sink. Seriously, this country is going to sink in terms of any development because me, like the frustration, I don't get it too much around every other thing. But yes, because I love it, I still manage around. I do with a lot of people from Sierra Leone, away from Sierra Leone, still we talk about the entertainment, we see how will they change. But are we really ready? We've got to ask these questions. The government, ourselves, filmmakers, and see how we can come together. You have Nollywood, you have Bollywood, you have Hollywood, you have what Sierra Leone is a Hollywood. You control it, how it works, So you don't really know the direction. Do we have a direction? If we're just playing all over the place, I don't think we can move forward. We have to have a direction. We have to have a philosophy that will move,
As you talk more about professionalism, so one could wonder, what are some of the recommendations where you will leave for viewers then?
I think the first thing we get forget identity. Sierra Leone, and get for people see you, they don't say you are from Sierra Leone, and you get more proud say you I'm a Sierra Leonean. That's the first. Now you see a lot of people coming back because they know no matter where you travel to, you can never get with you again as Sierra Leone. You can never be like the proper Sierra Leonean. Home is home. I think that's what we all get for think that you travel different place. You could do great job, but when you come home, when you do great job, it's just too much because you don't have a lot of people who need this, So I feel say we get for embrace these things and not say let's embrace the change. What we all want, put politics inside the entertainment. That's one thing I would recommend. Great, I'll see movie makers and the dance to political tune a lot. We get for be that's independent party we're ready for movie to tell everything just as we do right now. We to tell the story. We have to start telling Sierra Leonean story. Me film one make recently where I go shoot on a village as well. I focus on women empowerment, where I feel saying that one of the major things in this way also we need for look into.
So going forward, what do we expect from proactive films?
I think transit combination proactive. I think first I say with the set up the platform for when people go learn. I think that people need more education in terms of what they do. You can do what you're doing, but if only you know the progress, you know the improve, then you will just start it. You will just did it still. And I will get software and develop every day. Things are developing every day. So if you're then inside film industry, you'll be constantly learning. And not only to learn the skill, but ethics is very important that also we have to learn. So there are a lot of things that I think that people get for go and learn, then we can be able to change this space. So education is what we need around it. So when I say education is surrounding, within the funds, we get to educate them to understand why they should buy everything. The government, they get to understand that if they support movie, they can create employment. People when they make movie, they also they will think about more the economical area as well. For tell the story is one, but for nothing a business, you're putting resources and time. Respect actors, pay them some money at least. Let them back no say and time when they invest in value. So these are all the areas we get for look about. People today say movie just they act for nothing all over the place. Okay. So let's change this small thing. Even it's small thing, let's start to recognize and appreciate people's effort. I think we can change the dynamics.
All right, thank you very much. Dr. KID-AFAN, as you really say, government need for putting, firstly that the movie production go forward. So what's not a message where you left for government in regards to that day, specifically the Ministry of Tourism, and what we expect from KID-AFAN films?
Well, first I want to say there are many things and we Mr. Ansumana here highlights when we know see yes indeed challenge we come to the movie industry, definitely passion, dedication, perseverance, and to say no, I have to make an impact. I think that they drive many of us we come into entertainment, and for all the little stuff that they produce, definitely I have to really, really be passionate and dedicated to it because now time, now sacrifice that I make. But again, now waiting, I want to see Sierra Leone as, beyond just filmmaking, there are other things we are the advocate for on our radio platform. We are the constantly critique the healthcare system, critique the basic needs that we will not get when at the light, water, electricity as we always encounter, because for me those three things are paramount where it can to anything we possibly do in your life. You forget proper healthcare, forget clean drinking water, you forget electricity. In this 21st century we no get that for say we'll get on 24/7 and with no problem. If you look at the healthcare system, and waiting me the practice because I work, in a hospital setting, I also work in a medical oncology and hematology. Waiting I don't see in healthcare and waiting with the give with people that are Sierra Leone. They just tell me say go open clinic, then you get 3 bed where we say they see few people there. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do, where I ready for do that, I go do and right. What I mean right, with our healthcare supposed to be 9 it would be. That's not the first step. And the second one here, Sierra Leoneans them really get for then your content. And I believe say also television stations, their media platforms, them get for try for promote waiting Sierra Leoneans and they do. As they share other things that you play, other movies them on then television station. Make sure say we on the play first. We not say not play other country movie.
Well, if I can come into that, there is always a problem for place for a film.
Okay.
Because if you play my film, you have to pay me for showing my film. But that's the other thing. Also, TV rights. I think we get for land-based TV station. They can play part for make sure say I show you film and pay because you can show my film and therefore sell me film people don't watch it already. So so you have to get a kind of an agreement with the filmmaker, knowing that okay, if we show you film because you get viewers, so we get to watch your platform and you show me film through that. So let's have an agreement that the whole year we could advert for you free. we do this.
Of course.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. Say yes. What you say, like the television station. What I mean by play Sierra Leone movies, not just play and for the play's sake, play and say this filmmaker, the producer, the directors, they get something from the view when me station they do. That I think say important, but I don't feel say we can get that they happen, right? You just hear you say, well, Lord Puta, maybe somebody who like the film and then give something for it. I don't feel say that so if we go. No matter how small, because the resources that you put into a movie, it's a lot. Me, I know exactly what say you come out in terms of finance, but if I look into all those little needy greedies, those subtle changes that what I expect, I don't feel say I will continue. But I don't get into this now for like 2 years, right? So within these 2 years, even though certain things that don't make, I feel like say, oh no, it's like, am I wasting my time? But I never question that. But I know people that will tell me you're wasting time. So I can always tell me team, I say, hey, I don't say this why they do so. Not to everybody one lad one. I dey get voice say, go build hospital. Now there you go. Now school, you go school for become a medical practitioner. So I say no, I still dey do one. But I think say what I dey do, I dey empower people them for let them know say. Sierra Network production KID-AFAN films become the game changer for many reasons. When you talk about actors or actresses, then they act, they get even a stipend. So we change that. That's why we feel say we for change that argument. The narrative has to change when it comes to the entertainment industry. No matter how little, let that person they feel say when it take part, you get something. So when you dey budget for your film, budget say you dey give something to the cast and crew.
That's you get to appreciate your cast and your crew in the production. Okay. When you talk about movie production and we don't talk about qualities of the movie production or appreciating your cast now one. But then when people can watch Salone movies, they can normally pay more attention to the cast, in professionalism aspect. Some people can say, well, somebody they act film or they do music because land better. He thinks well, make I just go inside and try for get popularity. So like in that aspect, say you not feel say that's it in that Salone movie production.
I want to say yes, that definitely when you talk about professional, I think every movie or filmmaker, I will encourage you for like a code of conduct, guidelines where you read, to your team at the beginning of every production. That not something we me feel say I do, along with me co-producer on other movies than for this particular one when I media produce. At the beginning of each set for the day, especially why I don't know say I get cast them we not join with for the previous one. And most of them already don't complete this, they don't sign them. Now like attestation say, they abide to some of them guidelines. Actually, all of them guidelines there. That requires how you talk, how you respect one another, the communication, the support and the respect for one another. It's paramount to me. And then within there, you have your timing and making sure that, when you're on set, not to phone you on, you focus on what you there for. So everybody does read and sign. And also I read them out, even though I can get other people in like this film I get outside, productions and what I try for cast. Because like I be say, I want to collaborate with other filmmakers and not to just we no more for say solo. Me, I don't believe in just working alone. I believe in working with everybody as long as we work for change things in our country. So with that, I read them guidelines, on a page. We are split into sections. You talk about, how you for behave on set, waiting with you for, be mindful of body language and critiquing somebody, and hold on start. You don't want to just interrupt like that. So I believe say the one that I cast this trip, say yes, there's something else I dey look out for in the film. Now make I decide for co-director. Now make I decide say I for be a producer, not to just an executive producer. We just dey finance the movie and just sit down and wait and see what happen. No, I want to let them know. Like now, I'm sure like maybe the next movie, I can even say, "Una know what you do." So this is what I look for, and this is what I expect So now so me they look at me on. So I dey encourage filmmakers for create that guidelines so that people then will be professional, people then will take this as a career. Because I believe so if you take filmmaking as a career in terms of the one that we want to become actors and actresses, editors or camera operators as part of their own career. Like me, I said, I have a career, but this is just gonna be a second thing for me, out of passion, out of dedication, and out of how I would change things in my country and how I would contribute na society. So that's waiting me to look at.
Alright, judging by observations, ever since we don't come into this movie production thing, the entertainment industry in a very, very large industry in a salon. But then when you look at them, people pay more attention to music production, and film, the film side, the movie production aspect get less attention. You see, and working hand in gloves for see that people push salon movie go before now one thing way in the minds of people. But then the producers, the directors, coming together for set up a team for, work with Ministry of Tourism and for bringing out issues relating to quality movie productions and sensitize people on how for Lekion salon content. If you see that now, the guy people push the production.
Absolutely. That na a good thing. Na something we for all do. So in one of me promotional interviews then why I do na 98.1, I've been meet up with the Ministry of Tourism. So I kind of bring up this and me discussion that day, even though it be day within instead day for another interview. Kind of a lot of things them at the end of it, she did acknowledge that yes, that's something they also working towards. And the other thing where you say Sierra Leone music, they are ahead. Of course, me, to tell you the truth, I listen to many of our songs now than any other song, right? We dey do well in the music industry. For the one who they listen to me programs, the way I can do weekly discoveries, summary. No, sir, they always say, I want Salone movie. Lord, they will sell they in terms of the music at this point. Because I believe, say, if we did it, then we don't have nothing stopping us because you see we artists that really did do well. They very creative in the song way and they write in waiting and they do out there. And for this Wheel movie, it was inspired by somebody in song. One of the artists then song we go with Endless Love. A song where I listen to, I'm like, I want to write a story around this. And also I dey try for see how I will get some musicians them for do a soundtrack. And obviously Sierra Leone and believe in the fact that you for do a soundtrack for a movie. So these are some of the things that I believe what I'm doing is to bring in to try to change the narrative, change the perception in what people see in our movie industry. We may be behind, when you're talking about grading, but I think we can get there as long as government, the people, and also, the ones that are actually wanting to invest in movie, do it to say, what, this one, I not go get what I want. Maybe I did at loss for everything. But I did do am knowing that if we go before, tomorrow I will look at this part of the country, say, I been contribute, I make change, I bring something we create jobs then now we can't say. Because Ghana, Nigeria, where they look at them, their movie don't boost their economy greatly. So we self want that. I'm sure now that we need for focus on. And people then therefore take their job them seriously. And anything you do, I will encourage people then for take them very seriously. If you like something, you go show up on time. If you like something, you go study for them. Not just feel say, oh, because now acting I they do, I need to read, I know go waiting but now they have been get problem with some cast them where are they feeling lines because you know what they just want to do it because they don't know what in the story they about. But then they forget say, this story get a line, they get a message. There's a way they want like you project each word, So I hope say, when this movie come out, it will show a difference in all the different movies we either I don't produce or other people don't produce.
Alright. Director and Sumana Bandura, all the things we included in movie production, all the finances and all, through the process of producing a movie or directing, what are some of the things that make somebody for do in order for see that this particular movie that this is an expenditure, I mean, plan it before time, and at this, suppose for getting, reach to a particular point, if you get your income, including to waiting you spend plus profit on top. Because, like, when you look at silent movie, the sales out there is nothing good to write home about.
The first thing I think say people need for understand the industry better. One thing I see people really do is when research. Very important in filmmaking. If you want to tell a proper Sierra Leone story, you have to know the story. You don't have to assume the story. You don't have to just listen proudly somebody talk something else you take out. Research about what you want to write about so you see the reality of the story inside it. So then one thing I feel say we need to look at. Then if you want, work on your budget first. Know everything waiting for involved making that particular film, from the start. Because I can see many people can go into film and not even know the budgets. Waiting they got for spend. Every day they go, they come, they give this small thing, nobody budgets them. At the end of the day, you can make a film that maybe you don't spend more than how much million we don't even budget for. Then the key thing is the script. Writing the script takes the whole thing. A lot of people they write a story just the imaginary thing. I want to see this in a movie. I want to see this in a film. But imagine waiting anything that they cost you. So if you get for use like 3 motor car, you get for rent 6 motor car, you get for fear of them. You get for dislocations that we get for use. All neither food we get for them that you set. These are all things that costumes. These are all the things that we for take to cognizance before you go into script writing. And not say the market is small. Ask yourself, projects the market structure and know every story where you write for targets a group. Well, that's not a set of group where you target first for write a script. Am I targeting young people? Am I targeting age above 50, 60? So look at your age targets. Then you can, if you don't take all these things to consideration and just sit down because you get excited over something else and just want to write about it and then take customer sets, go, you can spend a lot of money that you'll never able to get back.
Right.
Me now, based from my first movie, the way I spend a lot of money and the struggling really be so challenging, forget overhead. This movie I do, very, very short budget, so, and the movie is already, from the premiere for us making a lot of good impact, So to say now releasing, I think then you get your returns, you get more overheads and you can able to do more things.
Right.
So let people make sure they know what they're writing before they just go to the sets to shoot.
Speaking of preparing low budget for produce a film, and as you say, your movie come out fine, even though you prepare low budget for them. But then another school of thought will talk say, having in mind that this film get low budget, is it that get for affects the quality of the movie we produce?
At all, low budget movie doesn't mean that it will affect quality. The first thing you have to have the camera quality, of course, will be good. Lights will be really good. And then focus on the story. Tell the story. Let all the actors then where they perform in particular say they know the story within the tell. And then they hit everybody would like it. But don't use all the kind of like good cars, big houses. You have to tell nothing. And you watch now people they say they go into action film where I believe Sierra Leone they love as well, action film. But then the movie cannot start everybody they shoot from the start to the end, they shoot somewhere, they shoot somewhere, they shoot somewhere. What are you telling?
Yeah.
Focus on the story. Get the good cameras, get a good team. That is not avoidable. Of course, that is no excuse. You have to have a good team. But think about your budget before you go into film. No say, moving and money, okay, you want to do expensive film. But don't do it at a cost where you do when you broke, you're not able to do anyone again. So look at your status, look at the level where you're into, and go into the kind of film you want to tell. I think I advise every filmmaker for that a proper budget. Look at the script properly before they go into filmmaking. Many they go and stop middle because they're not able to continue. What's they imagine? In fact, sometimes certain people they imagine, they're not they put her into reality. This is two things. I see a lot of people there in another world, in an imaginal world, not reality things. Let people start thinking reality. Don't write and think about Hollywood. I watch Hollywood film and so this stuff. Think about Sierra Leone.
Yeah,
You know?
they need to understand Hollywood movies. Sometimes they shoot them for a whole year or 2 years.
Exactly.
So it takes time. It takes proper planning.
Proper planning.
Because do something where you feel say where you do it go come out fine. They rush them. And in terms of budgets, like that's what I do. Like really, I have to write how much do I need for this and that. If I go over, I get a range. Actually, I'm not kidding. Just say now this. I get a range. So I say I can start say for this. Now I want for this. So if we dey either say I want and that middle or the max, then I know say I not cross boundaries, right? And I for already don't get now my mind saying 100 million euros I want spend by this movie. So as long as I not cross the, not go pay, I not go be like this is painful, right? But if you not get that at the beginning of everything, then you go end up for see yourself now 100 million euros budget wey be say maybe you be facing a $5,000 you want to spend by this movie. Then you're gonna have a discouragement.
The resource, the budgeting. It's not just pre-production.
Okay.
It's production.
Exactly.
People may think about that. Just go shoot the film. I spend this amount of money for go make a film, but you forget say when you don't shoot that film, it involves another extra cost to release the film, advert, all the things that surrounding your budget. So now I make one of the able for advert to film because not a part of the budget. At the end of the day, we feel like nobody knows about it. And this is the other area where we really lacking marketing strategy, techniques to really get the market. People we all know we small corner believe in and satisfied with the little thing we do. I think Sierra Leone, we feel we don't get to a point where everybody don't understand, say this country not a progress or not a move. Let's just please with the little that we can do. That's feel for say they affect we a lot. We seem to be okay with position. But if we know say we have to do a lot more, I think we can get it.
Alright, doing a lot more, it's nice for like emulate people where they do very well, but then people can raise concerns about how Sierra Leonean movie directors and producers they copy other culture of other countries them in their movie production, okay? Because if you get for create Sierra Leonean context and you get for bring in Sierra Leonean culture and tradition into some, especially movies we get for do it village settings. So what's not the message we go left in regards to that?
I just say that the message. One thing is research. You cannot write something you don't even know. If you don't know Australian culture, what do you write? So, but one thing you need to agree with me that the cultures are very similar in Africa. In terms of the beads, in terms of the basic costume, the lapa, and most of those things are very similar. So the only things there are smaller things that are different that could show that this is Sierra Leone, this is Ghana, this is Nigeria. That comes to research. When you want to make a movie, don't just focus. Okay, I advise every filmmaker to watch films. You watch films, it's good. But it doesn't mean that you have to copy that story because I see people are lazy enough to use their time to copy that story and say, look, character na Salone. A lot of film them there, so you don't watch Hollywood, you go watch the Ghanaian version, you go watch the Nigerian version, you go watch this. That can happen in the industry. But if you want to tell the real story, work a lot. Don't make it so easy. Just take it and then you just do the same and then just okay. There's a lot of people who are lazy enough not to really put it in our own way. You can look at the story style. You watch a movie, you just like the whole style, the whole setting and everything you like, but you want to put it in a Sierra Leonean kind of way. So you have work to do that. Not just to sit down and take word for word and pull into your script and say you've got a script. So that's lazy. Let's work. So I think people get to learn a lot about sweet culture and things where they want to write about before they write about them.
Alright, Doctor. Earlier on you mentioned you hosted Sierra Network production in collaboration with KID-AFAN Films as the game changers. So going forward, what can people expect from the productions?
Definitely, they say Sierra Leoneans, them, people them worldwide really see Sierra Leone movie that say now we don't ready for really work. We don't because we entertainers them or we actors and actresses them and we feel say we want to invest in them, feel say we for take them at a different light and not just do something like Mr. Ansman say the script for me. All me actress and actors that tell us let them read the entire script. Now that start first because for me, you for know the story. So when they get an interaction with on a specific scene, you for no say yes, this is not just about waiting me. They do then stories. This story need for connect with the other lines then where they come. So now the first step down the and I want people then really look into it that we get for make Sierra Leone movie we say need for be.
All right.
It's a passion, it's a dream, it's an ambition where I feel say I don't put my mind at and I feel say this one will get for produce will actually tell or even say a lot of words about wetin I dey feel and wetin I feel say my vision is wey come to the movie industry. But again, I go definitely love for work with other filmmakers them in collaborating with them for let we self work together and say, you know what, we want Salone movie, not just here in Sierra Leone. We want maybe let's say even Netflix, for example, because many countries them get their movies on Netflix. But Netflix requires so many things where you talk about picture quality, you talk about sound. And I think hey, I'm not just bragging, guys, but like I have to say this. I think we have the camera that they're looking for. We shot with that, you know, for this Beyond production. We specifically feel say we for invest in the equipment because you know go tell somebody let go doing work, you know, get the right tools, right materials, them for make you do work right. So now that me feel say the first step for me for all filmmakers. Let learn from each other. Let there be a seminar. Let there be a conference where filmmakers then will meet and talk about how they will improve, you know, Sierra Leone movie because all them ideas and way me and Sumana they share right now, it can go somehow. But if we get a seminar where Ingo give you like a 10-minute talk about what he feels say, you know, we for do for change the movie industry. I give another 10, somebody else give 10, 5. Then thing they also could really help in how we will improve things in our country. And we can see that now. Other countries, you know, as we want copy, but Lord copy the right things, Lord tell the story of Sierra Leone. And then that way we don't let we own story, okay, we let another thing where we try for change, you know. And stories sometimes can similar, like you say, that's not a fact. Whether not America, you know, any country, the stories could be similar. But I believe in more people starting to think that, okay, if we've done run out of, you know, fictions, why don't us tell true stories about we country? Let somebody play somebody in life, somebody who don't make a difference in our society. Play that person in life story. Let watch them. Let know say they make a difference. Now that we can see, like you see Muhammad Ali, where Will Smith play, you know, and different people then they play different people then roles. And you dey watch them movie and you attach. You dey learn from that. You dey make a lot of decisions based on somebody in life story. You know, for no say, you know, I know how this happened to me. Not to just fiction we dey focus on. I think true stories can also help hotel with content.
All right, plenty thank you to Dr. Aissatou Kakejalo for we join me inside the program today, and also to Director Ansumana Bangura. Viewers, as una self don't listen and watch as we don't discuss about issues surrounding movie production and how we for move Salone movie go before.
If you are listening and you watching, please, if you haven't subscribed to Sierra Network Discoveries or Sierra Network Production, SN Radio, Explore with Triple A, these are channels that we have out there for you to view and see what Sierra Leone is all about. So Sierra Network Discovery is the newest channel, giving you all sorts of discoveries. Salone Morning Discovery, talking about issues that have to deal with Sierra Leone at large. And also you're talking about health discovery, sports. You're talking about weekly summary that I host personally. So I'm definitely telling you, if you haven't hit that notification bell, neither the red button to subscribe, please do so. Salone family, now don't forget to say, this now we own content, now we own channel, Sierra Network, where Sierra Leone is never too far. Don't forget to say, what till they do, all that matters is Sierra Leone. So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, comment, share, and no say. Today I did in the studio live with one of the hosts, Konnah, Sesay, and one for tell them plenty thank you, tell we guests thank you, and also all we team, camera crew. And you know, what do they do? Now for una way they out there. Without una, we can't do nothing. So please don't forget. Thank you.
So remember saying we'll begin the program can't name na Konnah Sesay, and stay tuned and subscribe so that next time when we bring a new episode of Salone Morning Discoveries, you will be the first to watch out. So we meet to a new episode of Salone Morning Discoveries. This is Tata.